In southern Europe, maize is the staff of life. It's food for human beings and for animals. If the crop is poor, other cereals must be purchased from abroad, usually with dollars. Better seed yields bigger crops. And throughout the Mediterranean area, agricultural advisors are persuading farmers to try a new hybrid maize developed by American scientists. The seed has been introduced to Europe under Marshall aid. And where it's been planted, it's produced a crop nearly twice as large as before. Better seed yields bigger crops. That's fundamental to Europe's plan for more homegrown food. It's especially true of grass. And better grass means more meat and milk from the pastures, more wool from the flocks on the hills. Here, the scientists of Holland and Britain have led the way. They have developed strains that will provide richer grazing for the cattle and at the same time fertilize the soil itself. If the graziers of other European countries follow suit, it will be less difficult to feed those extra mouths.
But we must remember the production that we get from this type of land over the whole season, and not only during the winter. And I'm quite convinced by ploughing and reseeding the more amenable portions of these slopes, definitely increase that production.
Wel, mae'n bosib yna rhywbeth I ddweud dros eich dadl chi. Ond dwedwch dwi, siwp ddech chi'n mynd ati rwan I wella ar hyn di'r garw fel hwn?
By every means, increase the yield. And in some parts of Europe, the drive to grow more food is bringing change to the very structure of society.
In Calabria, in southern Italy, our farmers have never had farms of their own. And the land has been like this, neglected, since anyone can remember. If this dead earth were brought back to life, and if they who work it had the pride of owning it, things might be very different.
On this land, the clash of arms has sounded down the passing years. The Byzantines and the Saracens have fought upon it. Invading Spaniards and the Knights of Normandy have trodden it. Since then, Europe has multiplied her peaceful millions, and now the disinherited of Europe come to claim it as their own, to plant and grow and harvest.
It has slumbered through the centuries, this Calabrian land. But now times are changing. The old owners are being bought out. And the town crier's bell is calling everyone together to hear important news. From now on, the land is to belong to those who work it, to them. There are to be 10 acres for each of them, it says. And the government will hold a meeting in the towns and villages to draw lots for the land.
Sabato sera, nella riunione tenuta a Scandale, abbiamo stabilito d'accordo con voi le modalità circa il sorteggio e l'assegnazione della terra. Oggi metteremo in pratica quelle che sono stabilite sabato
That's
sera.
it. That's their land. I tecnici del governo, the government engineers, are pretty well remaking it. Deep plowing, irrigating, manuring, to give them a good start when the lots are drawn.
Di bella carne, di buono Rocco, Garriglia Antonio.
Rodino Pasquale di Giovanni, una quota. Longo Antonio Buttomenico,
Crisi Diodato, Carvelli Alfonso, Santoro Giovanni, Comparola Nicola. Va bene, questa è mia. Questa è mia.
Ma questi che fa?
Sì, è bene. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 e 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 e 22. 50. Questa è mia! Va bene? Questa terra è mia! Questa è mia! Terra mia! Grazie ballerino. Una bella.
The grand design. From the fjords of Norway to the Gulf of Athens, it's in the making. A new Europe seizing the hopeful years of recovery to found an era of greater health and happiness for all its people. In such a vision, the farmer's part is vital. 200 million mouths and more depend on him. In his hands, he holds the fulfillment of our grand design.